everybody to another great podcast. I hope you enjoyed all the other ones. We had some unbelievable stuff sent out there. If you haven't seen it, make sure to get it. We just want to inform everybody that starting Monday night at sunset, we start a fast. The fast is called Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av. It is one of the most serious fasts after Yom Kippur. This is considered the biggest fast. There's many laws that you have to know about this fast. Obviously, we are in the 3 weeks, which is a time of tremendous tragedy for the Jewish nation, the destruction of both temples during these times, the destroying of the first set of luchos, which was broken by Moshe Rabbeinu. So this is a time of tragedy, and a lot of unfortunate things befell the Jewish nation. The start of World War I was also on Tisha B'Av, historical fact, which really was the start of World War II also. So it's a terrible, terrible time, and a time to mourn over tragedies. The destruction of 6 million Jews, the destruction of all the communities that were destroyed during the Crusades times and the Spanish Inquisition. This is a time really to cry for our own tragedies that are going on today, the assimilation in America and every other thing. Just to clue you in on a little bit of the halachas that we should know, you're not allowed to take a shower or to wash any of your body parts for pleasure on Tisha B'Av. You can't even wash a little bit of your finger. When you wash al natilas yadayim, when you wash your hands, you can only wash till the knuckles. It's also usher to anoint yourself, to put on perfume or anything like that. It's also usher to have relations. It's also usher to wear, not permitted to wear shoes. No leather shoes could be worn. Plastic or any other type of vinyl or Crocs or something like that is permitted. We don't greet one another on Tisha B'Av. We don't say hello. The other thing is we sit on a low bench, on the floor preferably, or on a low bench. We don't sit any place high. We also say special kinnis and eicha. Get to your local shuls. Also, there's all over the United States, there's video showings. The Chavetz Chaim Heritage Foundation has a special Tisha B'Av presentations. Go see it. It's unbelievable stuff. Be inspired. Tisha B'Av is really a time to cry out and to ask that we should be redeemed for the Gula, the ultimate redemption and the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash. If I forget any other halachas, please ask your local Orthodox rabbi what's out there. Very important. Obviously, there's no eating and no drinking. That's part of the fast, and it ends on Tuesday. Look at your local times. Hopefully, we'll give you a link. Just want to quickly give you some words of inspiration to think about. We know that the temple was destroyed because of hatred between man and man. There's a Gemara in Gittin. We'd like to thank Dazak for donating these Gemaras to Yeshiva. The Gemara in Gittin speaks about the reason for the destruction of Yerushalayim. Jerusalem was destroyed because of Akamsa Bakamsa, a famous story. Akamsa Bakamsa were two people with a similar name, and a person was making a party, and by mistake he sent out a messenger, and the messenger invited Bar Kamsa, who was his enemy. He came to the party and he saw Bar Kamsa sitting there. We'll call him John. John came to the party and he saw Bar Kamsa sitting there. He walked over to Bar Kamsa and he said, "What in the world are you doing by my party?" So Bar Kamsa was very embarrassed. You can imagine the music stopped. Everybody saw the scene. Bar Kamsa said, "Please leave me. Just let me stay by the party." He said, "No, get out." Bar Kamsa said, "I'll pay for my own portion." Then Bar Kamsa said that I'll pay for half the meal. Then Bar Kamsa said, "I'll pay for the whole meal." Basically, John Doe, as we'll call him, picked up Bar Kamsa physically and threw him out of the party. Could you imagine the tremendous embarrassment. If you were that person, you'd be tremendously embarrassed. There was many great people there. There was a party that everybody was there. Think about in today's time, all the famous people, all the singers, all the politicians, everybody was there, and they saw this and they got very, very upset. Bar Kamsa was extremely hurt, and you could imagine, I think rightfully so, he was hurt. But the question is, when we get hurt, and we're rightfully so, but we're right to be hurt, what is our reaction to getting hurt? And Bar Kamsa decided to take revenge, and he went and he took a cow, and he went to the Romans and he told them that the Jews are interested in having a revolt, and they said it's not true, let's test it out. He said, send with me a sacrifice to their temple and you'll see that they're not interested in your sacrifices. On the way back, he took it, he split the lip or the eye, and the reason for that is Lashon Hara, bad speech on one another or seeing bad by other people is what caused the destruction. And when they saw that come to the Beis HaMikdash, they didn't accept it. The Romans got upset, and obviously because of it started the siege on Jerusalem, and Jerusalem ended up getting destroyed. So two points I want to say. One point is that we see that the way we react when we are wronged is a difference between making Jerusalem built or destroying Jerusalem. He was 100% right. His feelings were hurt. He was in a big trouble. He had every right to take revenge, but the revenge that he took, the action that you take when you're hurt, is the difference between destruction or rebuilding. If he would have taken the hurt and discussed it with his friends and tried to figure out a way how to get past it and over it, or gone to some great man and asked them to help him, his merit could have saved the whole Jerusalem, because the merit of destruction has a merit of rebuilding much more. So when we get hurt, and we're rightfully so, somebody wrongs us, if our reaction is that we stay quiet and we don't take revenge, we have the power to rebuild the Beis HaMikdash, to rebuild the temple. This is something not easy, and it takes a great man to do. But we implore every single person, even if you're right, swallow it and don't try to take revenge. This is a lifelong work, and if we could accomplish it. Just another interesting point, during these 9 days we're allowed to eat meat. The only time you're allowed to eat meat and drink wine is during a meal, a Sudas Mitzvah. A Sudas Mitzvah means when you get together for a bris, a pidyon ben, or a siyum. When somebody's ending a Masechta, we had many siyums here in Yesodia, you remember. Do you know why? Because the destruction of the temple was by this meal. Nobody stood up to this man, nobody said anything, and that caused the destruction. The way to rebuild is to rebuild in the way things were destroyed. We make meals where we bring our friends together and we have a meal, a simcha, a happiness together. We allowed to eat meat, because that is the ultimate rebuilding, when we rectify the wrong that's done. Guys, this is a serious day. This is a time that we really have to pray. We have to ask Hashem to get us out of this terrible tragedy that we're in. Look at the problems that they're in, the divorce rate, the suicide rate, the violence in schools, drugs and alcohol, how it's affecting people. It's time that we have the Beis HaMikdash and Mashiach nowadays. Everybody should keep this fast. Keep connected to Hashem, and hopefully we'll be zeicha to have the joy of the Beis HaMikdash nowadays. Bye guys, love you.